Hello everybody, today we're going to be using the small ball and your mat, and you'll start on your mat either facing forward or trying to get a view of the screen, holding the ball in hand. You're going to start with a roll down, arms reaching down towards the ground. Inhale, nod chin to chest, and then exhale, we articulate bone by bone, lowering the ball towards the ground, drawing in your tummy and leaning slightly forward. I want a heavy head, and I want the pelvis forward so that all your weight's on your forefoot. The chin is in. Inhale at the bottom, and then exhale, try and tuck the tail, rolling yourself back up using abdominals, and then unravel the spine to standing. Let's open up the shoulders and the collarbones. Inhale, chin to chest, and then articulate, thinking about the rib cage pulling down and the sternum depressing to get the roundness in the upper back, and then tuck your tailbone under to get your roundness in the lower back. You're leaning forward and the ball is just loosely in your hands, and you're trying to aim for the ground, but mainly you're trying to flex your spine, squeeze the glutes, and then tuck your tail, rolling yourself back up to standing. Unravel. The arms lift forward, you bend your knees and you pop into a squat. You hold your squat here and float the arms above your head, trying to reach the ball above your head. Chin is in, eyeline is down, abs are trying to be pulled in so that you don't fold forward on your thighs. You're trying to lift yourself a little bit off the thighs. Breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. In through your nose and exhale. 3 more breaths. Stay low if you can. Last 2. Lift your ball, last 1, and then rise up to standing. You're going to drop your ball on the floor. Grab hold of it with your toes, and hands can go on the sides of your hips. Attempt to lift the ball off the floor, and then down, and we lift again. Trying to strengthen the arches of the feet. Just a few more. Getting a little flexor work done here, and also standing on this other leg. And last one. And then we're going to swap over and attempt to pick the ball up on the other side, stabilizing. For those of you who need to, you can run and find a wall, and we lift. It's not a bad idea to have a chair nearby, just in case you need to hold on to the back of the chair. And so we're attempting to pick it up. You might find a difference between the two sides. You're going to try blame your socks, I know. It's not the socks. It's these lazy toes. And 1 more. And then we'll try and hold that ball in hand. And we want to try and get the ball behind your right leg. And you're balancing on the left foot, but trying to squeeze your heel towards your bum on the right. And then draw in the navel, tuck your tail, and try and keep upright. So wide shoulders, drawn in ribs, tuck tail, pull the knee back, and squeeze the heel towards your bum. You'll feel your hamstring working. Now it might feel like it's going to cramp. Feel like that's common. And if it does, just walk it off a little. But we're holding. You're breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. And we're just attempting to pull the knee back. We're going to do 3 more breaths in this position, trying to squeeze the glutes. 2 and 1. And then when you come out of it, you want to come gently. Okay, you don't want to really fall onto that tight hamstring. And then we'll do the other side. So you squeeze heel to bum, you tuck tail. And that really gets the hamstring firing on both ends. You're pulling the pubic bone towards your sternum and your rib cage down, but your shoulders back and your head upright. You can place your hands wherever you need them, but just kind of get them out the way. Pressing your knee back, tucking the tail again. 4 more breaths. And then when you come out of this one, you're not going to stand directly on that left leg. Straight away, you're going to ease yourself out of it. Hands hold the ball, feet face forward. Inhale, pop into your squat, lifting your arms above your head. Hold yourself there. Breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. Try push your hands further back. Try sit deeper. Hold, breathing in through the nose and side out. Reaching the arms long, shoulders down your back. Hold for 10, 9, 8, go deeper, 7, 6, 5, 4, navel in, ribs closed, 2, 1, and rise up. Drop your ball down. Hands on hips. Use right foot. We'll lift the ball up again. Good. You can re-establish your grip if you need to between each repetition. Exhale to lift. Inhale to lower. 2 more. And then last one. Great, we swap sides. And lift. Tuck your tail, close your ribs, lift your head off your shoulders. And then we're going to put the ball behind your right leg. So you'll take it back and tuck your tail, push the ball backwards, squeeze your heel to bum. Breathe in through the nose and out through your mouth. Keep stable on the left. Draw in the navel, get taller. Push back. Keep squeezing, tucking, sucking, all of the ings. And 2 breaths. And then remember not to fall onto the right leg. We undo it carefully. And stand on the right. Ball goes behind the left. Tucking your tail. Lengthening the spine. Squeezing the heel to bottom. Pressing that heel up and back. Squeezing your ball as hard as you can. Pressing into the 5 toes that are on the ground, spreading them wide. Push, clench, and then breathe. Grab hold of your ball and relax. Okay, moving onto your mat. You're going to start by placing the ball underneath your right foot. So right foot's on the ball, left leg's on tabletop. So we'll attempt to keep the right leg light on the ball. Hands are at your sides. Draw in your navel, and then the left foot moves down to touch the mat, and it comes back up to tabletop. So it's inhale to go down, and exhale to come up. But if we can keep the right foot light on the ball, there's going to be more work done in your lower abdominals as you pull the leg up. Now you don't want the tummy to bulge. You're going to keep trying to knit it in. And you lower your left and lift it up. The right leg is light on the ball. And you lift it up. Unless, of course, you need it heavy on the ball, in which case it makes the exercise a little more doable and then you can carry on. Let's do 2 more. And your last one. Good. Now you cross your left foot over the right knee, figure of 4, except you've got your right foot on an unstable object. And so you're going to maintain your figure of 4 and lightly push the right leg away. And so you have no choice but to work your lower abdominals, otherwise it'll slam down with absolutely no control. And then you lighten the leg on the ball to lift yourself back into your figure of 4. And so we go away on an inhale, very lightly, and exhale, you pull it back in. Inhale away, and exhale back in. 2 more away, and in. Last one away. And you pull it in. We move the ball across to the left foot, and the right leg starts in tabletop with the left foot on the ball. The lighter the left foot, the more you work your lower abdominals. We take your right foot down towards the mat and pick it back up on an exhale. It's inhale to go down and exhale to go up. We keep dabbing while trying to be relatively light on the left. Inhale down and exhale lift. 3 more like this. And then eventually, last 2. We're going to put, last 1, that right ankle over the left knee and keep the left foot light. And you take the left leg away and then you bring it back up. Inhale away and exhale up. 2 more. Drag it back up. And last 1. You pull back up. Both feet are on the ball. And you'll keep your toes on the ball, but your heels go down towards the ground. So now your feet are in like a little V shape. And you want to keep your heels on the ground, but your toes up on the ball. So you might need to move your ball slightly away, and you're in a V. The knees are out, your hands are down at your sides. Imprint the spine, and you'll feel the back of the legs engage a little more. Keep pulling pubic bone to sternum as you lift and peel up the hips off the floor, pressing the pelvis up, 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 clenching your glutes and squeezing your heels more together than they need to be. So it's this action of squeezing the heels, opening the knees and shoving the hips up in the air. Inhale at the top and then exhale. You come down the spine trying to be bone by bone and unravel. Inhale at the bottom and exhale. We imprint the spine. You squeeze the heels together. You open the knees and you pick up your hips. Now we do want the knees open, but we don't need them completely spatchcocked. So keep the knees halfway, but shove your hips up really, really high and then pull your ribs down so that there's this massive tuck in the tail and your shoulders are still relaxed. And then roll yourself back down, vertebra by vertebra, unraveling the pelvis. Inhale and exhale, imprint the spine, and then come up slow and press to the top. Inhale there and exhale, we come down, and that's your last one like this, and unravel at the bottom. Now we lift the heels. Oh boy, the ball comes a little closer if it needs to, and I think we all know what's coming. A lot of shaking. And so we attempt to keep the ball still. You imprint the spine and you lift up your hips, trying to keep the ball on the mat. Inhale, and then exhale. You come down slow, and we unravel at the bottom. Inhale to prepare, and then exhale, tuck, press, and lift up off the floor, squeezing the heels at the top, and then come down slow and unravel. It's good to know we're all in the same boat. Inhale. If it's impossible, you move your ball and you do it with your feet on the floor. It's exhale, we lift up. Significantly easier, therefore more manageable, therefore possibly more appropriate. Untuck the tail, inhale, and then because I'm the one who made you do this horrible exercise, I will revert back to the ball and join you in solidarity. We imprint and lift. Up, 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 up. Inhale, and then come down slow and unravel. Don't let the ball roll away. We pull the ball, last one. Inhale to prepare, and exhale. Lift, lift, lift. Squeeze at the top and come back down, unraveling all the way. Well done. Feet remain on the ball, but you're allowed to rest your heavy feet on top of the ball, no problem. Hands reach up to the ceiling. And then you're going to take your hands and interlace the fingers, lift your head off the floor, and put your hands behind your head. The knees are together, the feet are together, and you lift yourself into a chest lift. Inhale here, and exhale, we come back down. Inhale, prepare, and exhale, lift head and chest. Breathe in, and then exhale, come down. Inhale, we prepare. And exhale, we lift into a chest lift, attempting to come high. And then lie down again. 2 more like this. And exhale, you lift. And lower. And then last one, you come up into your chest lift. You'll take your left hand from behind your head and reach it past your right thigh, reaching it, giving it an angle so that your heart can follow that trajectory. And you lift yourself as high as you can in that chest lift with rotation to the right hand side. Your head presses back into the right hand so that it's your stomach that's working and not your sternocleidomastoid, which is a neck muscle. Then that left hand goes behind your head. And you turn over to the left-hand side and the right hand reaches past your left thigh. You pull yourself up, 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 up. Then you take your hand back behind your head. You pull to center and you move across. But now we want the knees still on top of the ball. Hand back behind your head. Exhale, pull across. Keep pulling with tummy, not head. Press your head back into your hand. Both hands go behind your head. You rotate over to the right and you reach. Come back behind your head. Turn, 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 and reach. Back to the center. We don't move it to turning anymore. We stay in the middle and you crunch up higher. And then you lay back your spine. Well done. Your arms will move into your T. And you move your ball slightly away so that you can have 2 feet touching on the floor. You lift up the toes. So you're on your heels with your knees together and your arms out wide. We correct the elbows and the wrists in your T. You also need to look to the right to see, are you in a straight line, look to the left, or are you not realizing that the arms are in a V? Can you make sure you pull your arms into your T and that you fix the elbows and the thumbs? Now those toes are still lifted, so your shins should be working. On an inhale, you roll over to one side, taking the knees with you. And then exhale to come back to center. We inhale to go over to the other side. The soles of your feet shine out. So that means you still have your toes together and you're flexing your feet to your shins, but you're showing the world the underside of your feet. Inhale, exhale, come back to center. On an inhale, you go over to the right hand side. Inhale, inhale, inhale. Knees are going to slide so that your left knee goes longer, and exhale back to center. On an inhale, you go over the right, bottom picks up, and exhale, pulls back. Try squash your shoulders into the floor. To the right you go, and exhale, pull back. And then to the left, last one, and exhale, pull back. Your hands move towards your abdomen. You dig your fingers into the psoas on the right hand side, and we've done this before, but if this is new to you, we're going to dig for your hip flexor, which is along almost if you can imagine that your six-pack is along one side of your belly button and the other half of your six-pack is along the other side. You're going to dig into just adjacent to your belly button, through the six-pack, through your tumbos, and onto the spine itself, where we'll find the hip flexor muscle attached to the spine. You can go down towards your pelvis, your pubic bone, or you can go a little higher towards the diaphragm, but you're looking for a trigger point and a spot that you can dig into. And then we'll go over to the other side and give that a bash as well. If there's some tenderness, then you need to revisit this and possibly do it either consistently, or let someone have a look and see if you've got some tightness there that needs to be released. Okay, so chatting to a physiotherapist to help you be more efficient at this process. So we're digging into the hip flexor and we're digging into the abdominals, even though you don't realize that we're going through them, so we have to be massaging them, and just trying to release some tightness in this abdominal wall, because we want it to be functional, we want it to work for you. So we're doing a few more. Inhale through your nose and exhale through your mouth while you try and do this. Often the body holds onto the tension and it doesn't really want you to get stuck in there. And then we're going to hopefully have these really responsive abdominal muscles. The hands move back behind your head. You interlace your fingers. Your feet are on the floor. You separate your feet by a fist so that the knees too are open. Inhale to prepare, and exhale. We lift head and chest up into a chest lift. Hold it there. We just rotate to the right into a rotation like we did just now. And then exhale, go left. And inhale, center, exhale, right. And inhale, center, exhale, left. And so we're going to do 6. Keep those elbows in your peripheral vision. So you don't want them completely out of sight. You want them to have the soft curve to the side so that it's like a little satellite dish orbiting your pelvis. And then we come to center, right leg tabletop, left leg tabletop, squash the legs together, hold on to the back of the legs, lift yourself a little higher, hold on to the top of the shins, and here we are. The head is pressed back and the legs are going to shoot, the arms are going to shoot. So the legs and the arms shoot, the arms go wide and around onto the knees. We shoot around and onto the knees. Inhale and exhale around, in and exhale around, 3. And exhale around, 2, and exhale around, last 1, and exhale around, hug knees into chest, and pull yourself up to seated. The ball goes underneath your feet, squashing your feet towards your bum. You tucked in your chin. There's a roundness in your spine. You're pointing your toes and you're squashing your shins. You're squashing your feet and you're squashing your knees. Inhale, lean back. Exhale, up. Again. If this does not feel good in your body and you prefer to do spine stretch seated, like a sitting forward exercise, then you may. If you prefer to arch and sink your spine in 4-point kneeling, then you may. We do 3 more. 2 and 1. Done. We're going to let the ball go and put it between your feet. This is quite hard. We've done open leg rocker before, which is tougher than rolling like a ball. But we haven't done open leg rocker, only it's not open, it's closed. So if this is too difficult, which I can imagine it might be, then you can bend the knees and do an exercise in this stance. Otherwise, we're going to try with holding on to the ankles. There's a roundness in the low back. You go over, and then when you come up, we try and sit. Let's go again. Inhale, over. Exhale, up. Inhale, tuck, lift your bottom, and then up. Inhale, curl, lift up the hips so that you can come up. Again. And we pull ourselves up. Okay, that might have gone well or maybe horribly wrong, but it's playtime. It's good to play. The ball's going to go underneath the hips. I say this in my classes and I'll say it here. Don't feel sorry for the ball. The ball is fine. We leave the ball. He's happy. He's supporting us. Hands at your sides. Right leg tabletop. Left leg tabletop. The legs go up towards the ceiling. So now we've got this cushioned object under our hips, and it makes life a little easier to do a rollover. You pull the legs towards you, squashing your legs in towards your abdomen, and you attempt to fold in half. And hopefully it's going well. And if that's the point at which you need to leave it, so be it. Then you use your stomach to keep pulling the legs towards you, and you make the most of this stretch. But otherwise, if you've got a little bit extra in you, you attempt to lift your hips up off the ball, lifting your pelvis higher, and then you can flex your toes towards the top of your head. Open your legs a little and see if you can go down to the ground with your toes. And then you pull down your hips back towards the ball. The legs still stay straight and the toes still pull towards your nose. And you're going to keep the legs strong, but you lower your hips so that your feet land above your hips and perpendicular with your toes still pulled towards your chest. You're not allowed to look right or left when your legs are going over your head. You need to make sure that your eye line is up and that your neck feels loose. Point your toes here. You're in perpendicular. So now your hips are still on the ball, and everyone can try. You lower your legs to where you feel that your stomach has control. It's no more than 60 degrees. So you've got to keep control, and then you close your legs. You don't need to go low. Lift your legs up to the ceiling and keep your bum on the ball while you squash your thighs in towards one another and your chest. You compress. You hardly move your hips because you're just pulling your legs towards you with your stomach. And if and only if you're comfortable, you can attempt to lift your hips off the ball. And you're not going to do this exercise if your neck is sore or if you have a history of a problem in the neck or in the low back, and you know that this is an aggravating movement for you. You flex your feet to the top of your head and open your legs, attempting to take the toes down to the mat. And then you'll drag those thighs close to your chest as you try and find the ball with your low back and your pelvis. Keep the legs strong. Keep pulling on the toes. Then you move your legs through the air until they're in perpendicular. You point your toes and you attempt to lower your legs while drawing in your tummy, and you close your legs. Lift on an inhale. Go over on the exhale. Keep compressing and rolling off of the ball. Inhale to flex your feet to the top of your head and open your legs and touch the ground. Exhale to drag your spine back down to the ball, looking for it. Lifting the legs, pointing your toes, lowering the legs on the diagonal. Tummy draws in. Do not let it jump and bulge. Lift the legs up. And last one, you compress and curl over. You flex, open, dab the ground, and then drag yourself back down onto the ball, pointing your toes and lowering to touch, and then bring your legs to tabletop. Take one foot down, take the other foot down, and you lift your hips to remove the ball from underneath your pelvis. Okay, you're going to grab the back of one of your legs and lift your head and chest and then pull yourself up to seated, and we're in 4-point kneeling now. Take the ball behind. I've got it behind my left knee. You can have it behind your whatever knee, but let's put it behind one of the knees and drop down onto your elbow. So you're looking down at the ground with a roundness in your spine, and you've got the ball stuck behind your knee. You're going to kick the leg up towards the ceiling, and in this movement, you'll make sure you're not leaning over to the right-hand side, but instead your belly button's in the middle of the mat, and you'll kick that left leg up, and then bring the knee down, and kick the left leg up, and bring the knee down, and kick it up. So you are looking down at your knees, but your back is rounded, and you need to kick up against a strong bum. And so we're pressing and squeezing and then correcting your alignment. And so we do another 6 and 5, 4, good, 3, 2, and 1. You'll come down, but leave the ball where it is, nestle or settle rather on your knee, and then get your hands under your shoulders, 4-point kneeling position. You gaze down at your fingers with your shoulders like a wide. You're going to stick out your chest, and then keep the eye line at your fingertips. Your left leg will open out to the left-hand side. The ball remains behind your knee. And exhale. Pushing the belly button over to that left-hand side. 6 more. 5, 4. Keep leaning left. 3, 2, and 1. And then you're going to drop down onto your right elbow and your left hand. And I want you to take that left leg out to the side and pull it back behind you and bend the knee towards your left elbow. And so you're kicking your leg at an angle, like on the diagonal line, squeezing the bum back behind you. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then you'll take the ball behind the right leg, drop down onto both elbows, and you kick the right leg up and down, but you've got to lean to the right. You're squeezing your left bum, tucking your tail, and you're looking at your thighs, rounding your back if you can, drawing in your belly button. Leaning to the right, just a reminder that it's got to be done. Another 6. Exhale to kick. Last 4. Keep leaning right. 3, 2, and 1. Go onto your hands. Kick out to the right-hand side with your right knee. Leaning to the right. Watch your eye line. Watch your heart. Stick it out. Kick up that leg. Only 7 more. Last 3. Squeezing both cheeks. Straight arms, 2. Strong arms. And then down onto the left elbow. Right arm is bent slightly. Right leg is up. You kick it back. You bring it forward. You kick it back. You bring it forward. You mainly kick it back. And then we've got 7. 6. I want no pain in that right hip. 3, clench bum, lean right, 2, and last 1, and then you come down. Good. Take the ball to the side for a moment and lie down on your tummy. Going to interlace your fingers and gaze forward, and the legs are straight. It's important that the gradient in your spine feels comfortable. So you can actually take your elbows forward and wider until you feel like that's your happy place. But if you've got a range that's capable of being really upright, so I don't have pre-existing conditions and I'm allowed to arch my back in order to maintain the ability to arch my back, then I'm going to do it. Lengthening the spine. But if it's not comfortable for you, then you may go into a safer, healthier, more doable, more manageable position. It's not a problem to modify. We lift. You're pressing into the floor with the elbows, so you're really exponentially increasing the curve. It's not that we want to be in this rounded back position and merrily strumming away at our hamstrings, but rather lifting through, pressing and pulling those elbows towards you to encourage that heart lift. The shoulder blades are down your back. And let's push your hands now, they're still interlaced, into the mat to try get more. Then the legs are stuck together and they lift off the floor at the knees. So things might change when we start to add the legs. You might feel the work being done all the way up the back, which is not a bad thing. I think people tend to demonize work in the back. Don't get confused between work and pain. So we want the muscles on. And you're going to kick your right leg towards your bottom twice. 1, 2, and straighten. The left leg kicks. 1, 2, and straighten. Right. 1, 2, straighten. Left. 1, 2, right. Left. Right. Left. Right. Left. Keep going, lifting. And last round. And reach those toes. Lift your heart. Pull your elbows. And soften down into the floor. Rest your head on your hands. Elbows are wide. And there you are. On an inhale, you're going to thread your heart forward. And then keep lifting into your upper back extension. I want you to pull the shoulder blades down your back and focus on length, not height. And then lower yourself back down, tucking in your chin. Inhale, thread the heart forward, lifting up to extension. Press your elbows into the ground and pull your shoulder blades down your back. And then lower yourself on an exhale, down. Inhale. Thread the heart up and forward. Exhale, you come back down. And tuck in your chin. Inhale, carry on, lifting forward. And exhale, come back down. 2 more. Lifting up, shoulders down. And lower. And then last one. Lifting up. Widen the shoulder blades. And lower yourself. Push back into rest position with your hands forward and your chin in and your chest low onto your knees. Tucking in the chin and lengthening your arms by walking your fingers a little bit further. Then rock onto 4-point kneeling position. Grab your ball and place it on the left-hand side of your body, and you're in 4-point kneeling. It's somewhere between your left hand and your left knee. And then your right arm is going to first lift up to the ceiling, looking at the arm, hello rotation, and then you'll come down. The outside of your right hand lands on the ball. You press your hand along the ball and you will drop your shoulder to the floor. And then we'll pull back in and up. Thread that hand underneath the left and reach and attempt to drop your shoulder to the floor. And then rotate your way back up into your rotation. Third and final one, you rotate and you drop the shoulder into the floor. Come back up and settle in 4-point kneeling, moving your ball across to the other side. Now your left hand reaches up and you thread it underneath and take the shoulder to the ground by bending the right elbow. Then you pull yourself back and you lift that left arm up and we thread it back down and settle. Push into the ground with the right hand and the left arm reaches up to the ceiling. And then when you come down, you get to rest on your back on your mat with your legs relaxed, either bent, knees together, or if you prefer it, you straighten the legs into the corners and your hands are soft at your side. You're going to take your left foot up and over the right ankle so that both feet are now in the right hand corner, and then you'll take your arms overhead and hold onto your left wrist with your right hand and side bend over to the right hand side. Breathing here. And then soften, come out of it slowly and take the left to the left hand corner. The right leg goes up and over and hooks at the ankle. Your arms move overhead. You grab your right wrist with your left hand and you side bend over to that side, the left side. Deep breath in. Come back out of it and settle the legs. Turn off your jaw and your brow. Restorative inhale. Sigh it out. One more. And as you breathe out, you can let all tension go. Well done.